Hello, everyone, and welcome in to what is a very special Butt Fumble Sports Daily Show on this Championship Sunday. AFC Championship at 3 p.m. on the East Coast. 6 p.m. the NFC Championship kicks off. For those on the West Coast, obviously you have a bit of a closer view to it if you're in San Fran and in the Bay. Welcome in, everybody, to the Butt Fumble Sports Show as we take you through this last great NFL Sunday of the season. Super Bowl Sunday is its own spectacle, commercials and all, but today is the last day. We have two football games to talk about, and we're going to go through the game picks, the trends, the player prop bets, everything that you guys need to cash in on this very special day. There are some other games going on across the NBA and the NHL as well. We'll touch on those. Those don't drop puck or tip off until about 2 o'clock, so we have some time to get questions in. Obviously, if you guys want to join the show as a guest, feel free. And we're just going to have a lot of fun on what is one of the last great Sundays of the year, at least on this half of the year. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing. No matter the platform you watch on, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button. Show your support for Butt Fumble Sports. It goes a long way. We're going to already give out some picks because we gave them out yesterday, and I want to make sure everyone has them for today. That's the Chiefs plus 4.5. We took that yesterday. Chiefs plus 4.5. Ravens on the money line. I took Chiefs and Ravens under 47. I also took it at a series of other places, 48, 48.5. And I took the 49ers on the money line. If you guys have questions, fire away. That's what we're here for. Bucket, like I just said a moment ago, Ravens on the money line, Chiefs plus 4.5 is what I'm going with today. Stick with me. Hope you're having a great day. OG Cash, I'm doing well. I get to talk sports with you guys. How could things be wrong? Affordable Dave, Chiefs on the money line all day. Affordable Dave, I have thought about that. I'm taking them on the cover. I did take the Ravens on the money line. The ultimate difference for me is the home field advantage and the defense of the Ravens going up against what is a vulnerable offensive line. I think the loss of Thuney this week is going to make a difference, but Chiefs plus 4.5, I still feel very good about that. Yep, Affordable Dave, we're right thinking the same things. If you have a take on today's AFC Championship game, throw it in the comments section. Who do you think's going to win? What's your pick for the game? What are you betting? If you need help with any of your picks, feel free to ask away. What do you think about Pacheco today? I think he's not going to have as good a day as the Chiefs need him to. The toe injury and the Ravens' run defense. I think he could get a touchdown, but I don't think his rushing yards overall are going to be very good. How do you feel about the under in the Chiefs-Ravens game? I like the under. I bought it up to 47, but I do like the under in that game. I think the defenses play a little bit better than people expect. OBJ over on yards, Arctic Tiger. That is one that I like as well. Great call. Yeah, but how will this affect LeBron's legacy? Anonymous, I love it. By the way, did you guys see that Warriors-Lakers game last night? Double overtime, LeBron James, triple-double. Ridiculous. Just unbelievable. And it's one of those where I don't need to do the first take, does this make him better than Jordan or anything like. Just appreciate greatness. Like when Brady was at the end of his run with the Bucks, just appreciate it while you have it. Who's winning today? I've got the Ravens money line, and I have 49ers on the money line. I have taken the Chiefs to cover the 4.5 point spread. I don't know about the Lions. Very, very popular bet today. Like the country, not just Michigan, is betting on the Lions. I'm staying away from that spread right now. I just don't feel like it's at a great spot. Do you think Pacheco will rush for 50 yards? I don't. I think he falls just short of it at literally 44, 46 yards. I can understand some people may think I'm going to be wrong about that and it can get up to 60, but I don't think so. I'm not big on him today. Anonymous, I thought it was one of the best games of the year, and what I loved about it was kind of the symbolic handoff from the NFL to the NBA in some ways. Today being the last day of NFL football that really has some juice. The Super Bowl is its own mess. But that said, for that game last night, Lakers, Warriors, Curry and LeBron delivering. It just got me hyped for the NBA, which I'm so excited about moving forward. OG Cash, do you think the Chiefs defense can stop Lamar's rushing? I do. What I don't think they can do is stop his rushing and what will be a really competent two tight end attack. If they're able to use Andrews and Likely effectively, and you have OBJ, Zay Flowers, and Bateman, all of a sudden, the weapons that Lamar Jackson has are not just the best he's had in the entirety of his career. You could argue collectively they could go toe-to-toe with anyone remaining in this postseason. The Chiefs don't have great pass catchers outside of Travis Kelce. The 49ers, okay, they've got Deebo Samuel and Ayuk, Kittle as well, but I think if you think about depth, I think the Ravens right now are definitely showing something. Tip of the cap to you, IP Shade 45. Great to see you on this NFL Sunday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 0. Is Kelce going to have 40 plus receiving yards? I think he will. I think he gets above 40 plus receiving yards. We looked at it a little bit earlier in the week, but I tend to think he will. Anthony, Mark Andrews is a tougher call for me at the 35.5. I think he could get a touchdown. I think in the red zone, he's a really good opportunity to cash in there. But Isaiah Likely, I think, could be the better option for overall receiving yards. Hill or Edwards. Arctic Tiger, I've seen a little more of Justice Hill, but I think Gus Edwards is going to be the play today. I think they want Edwards a little bit more, I think. That's just me flipping a coin on that, to be honest. No Shot, you just said their pass catchers are comparable to Deebo. I say, well, not Christian McCaffrey in the passing game. No, you're right. If I take Christian McCaffrey and I added to it, but to be fair, Brandon Ayuk has come on really strong at times this year, but the consistency is kind of interesting. I think Zay Flowers, okay, Deebo's the number one receiver I just mentioned. I think Kittle and Mark Andrews are far closer than you give them credit. Mark Andrews has just been injured. I think Isaiah Likely's come on very strong. I'm not putting him up on the Kittle level, but between Kittle and Mark Andrews as pass catchers, I actually think it's a very close race. If not Mark Andrews being the better pass catcher, I think Kittle is the better all-around tight end with blocking and pass catching ability. But when it comes to pure pass catcher, I think Mark Andrews is a little bit better. And on the other side, I just think Zay Flowers, I think Zay Flowers could end up being a better wide receiver than Brandon Ayuk. I'm willing to go out on that limb. I hope Niners win the Super Bowl this year. Nate, I love it. I like the take. How about Deebo? You think he's been playing possum? I think Deebo is not just going to play. I actually am I would think about an anytime touchdown for Deebo Samuel. The overall yards, I think I like, but ironically, I talk shit about Brandon Ayuk, and I think Brandon Ayuk could have a very big game today. Thoughts on the Niners? I like the Niners on the money line. Hope you guys are hitting that follow button. Hope you're subscribing. If you hate the content, let us know. If you hate the takes, let us know. I'm here for the hate as much as the love. Ravens under. I took Chiefs and Ravens under 47. I bought it up. It's at 44 right now. I got it at under 47. And then I sprinkled into a couple parlays under 48.5. B. Birch, is Mark Andrews playing? Yes, he is. Favorite anytime touchdown today? I still think it's probably Christian McCaffrey, number 1, and then I would say Lamar Jackson, number 2. And then, funny enough, Mark Andrews starts to get up there pretty fast. Do you think Mark Andrews will get lots of playing time? No, I don't think he'll get a lot of playing time. I think they're going to use him in very selective situations. I think it's third downs. I think it's red zone opportunities. I think Isaiah Likely could be the guy they put in on the first and second down for run plays. I think that Harbaugh is going to use Mark Andrews, the offensive coordinator as well, is going to use Mark Andrews when they most need him. They're not going to have him, I think, in there on run plays that are just like, we're just handing it off to Gus Edwards in a power run. I think that risks him re-injuring himself or just, frankly, getting caught up in some of the scrum. They don't need to do that. Jorge, Andrews 30-plus yards is a really interesting take. I'm not going to bet it. I like the anytime touchdown more than I like the yardage. Likely over 22, I actually think is a really good play. I think Likely is going to actually have a decent game because I think they're going to continue to use him a decent amount. And I think that the attention, if they do 2 tight end sets, I think the attention is brought over to Mark Andrews. But don't overlook what Likely's been able to do over his time in that starting role. Austin, Ravens or Chiefs on the money line. The picks that I gave out yesterday and I'm staying with today, I'll go through all of them one more time for you guys. I am taking the Ravens on the money line. I am taking the Chiefs plus 4.5. I am taking the Chiefs and Ravens under 47. And I am taking the 49ers on the money line. That's what I'm taking today. Those are the picks I'm going with. Would love to hear what you guys like. I know a lot of you guys have picks of your own, parlays of your own. Love hearing from you guys out there. So if you want to join the show as a guest, feel free to hit us up. If you just want to write in what picks you went with today, would love to hear it. I'm not taking the spread in the 49ers-Lions game. If I would go in any direction, I might even go 49ers on the spread. There is way too much public love on the Lions right now, and that's just a spot where I'd rather be on the side of the sports book. The Lions are the story. The 49ers are probably the one you should put your money on. Austin, Chiefs plus 4.5. That's right. That's exactly what I did. Arctic Tiger, Christian McCaffrey, Jackson, and Gibbs can be a strong anytime touchdown. I agree. Good call, Arctic Tiger. Asshats going with them Lions. How do you feel about Montgomery anytime touchdown? Probably not as good as Gibbs. I think Gibbs has a better opportunity because of how they use him in the passing game and the fact that he gets outside the tackles, and I think that's where the 49ers are a little bit more vulnerable. If you try to run straight up the middle, David Montgomery style, I think it's really tough to run on this 49ers defense. You get to the outside, bit of a different story. Ayuk getting 150. That is not the craziest thing you could have said. I think Ayuk could have a very big game in terms of yardage today. I could even see him getting a touchdown. This is a Brandon Ayuk game. Deebo Samuel being back, it forces that coverage to go over to him. Ayuk one-on-one. He is dangerous when Brock Purdy has good weather and has time in the pocket. Brandon Ayuk is one of his favorite targets, especially at home. So I think Brandon Ayuk is actually a really good call. Let's see what Jay Frosty wants to talk about. He's going to be a caller up on the show. Love taking your calls. So, Jay Frosty, what's good? Loving life, talking sports. What are you thinking about these games?
Listen. This is the way I'm rolling with it, all right?
Okay.
I broke it all down last night. I got into the lab, I broke it down. So I'm basing my pick today on the Kansas City game off Taylor Swift's upcoming schedule. Taylor Swift will be able to make it to the Super Bowl. She will, even though she's over.
She changed the Tokyo tour stuff?
Yes, she can make it. I saw it. Because of the time changes, she can make it. It's set up for this. We're going to see Kansas City, Detroit in the Super Bowl. You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Here's where I think, I almost want to disagree with you. Would the NFL really give you both, perfect stories? I feel like I would agree with you if he does Chiefs 49ers in a rematch of the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I could buy that. Is he really going to give you the Cubs versus the Red Sox in the World Series? No, he ain't doing that, right?
I saw LeBron James miss 5 free throws in the fourth quarter last week. I think anything's possible at this point.
Well, that's LeBron James at the free throw line. I actually don't think that's that crazy. That dude does have his moments. I love your take on the Taylor Swift, and I'm totally buying that. I totally believe it. I can totally see it happening. And there's also way too much love on the Ravens today. There are too many people telling me Ravens -4 is a good bet.
It's a long shot. There's no way Kansas City going down today. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, playoff time. Come on.
Okay, Jay Frosty, I got a question for you because I heard this out on the sports media world, and I want to know. I heard that there's a chance that Andy Reid could retire.
Bill Belichick.
Is that some bullshit, or is that real? What do you think?
I heard that he had a meeting with Kansas City this week. A couple days ago is what I heard. No news on what happened there, but he definitely talked to somebody.
Where'd you hear that? On X Twitter?
No, I didn't hear it on Twitter. I heard it on another guy's page here who's pretty reliable.
Interesting. Okay. By the way, I'm all for people stirring the pot on that.
2 days later, I see it on the news here that he could go there. So nothing's out of the question. Nothing's out of the question.
And what do you think? Does Travis Kelce retire after this season?
Travis Kelce's done. He's done.
Travis Kelce's done. So the Kelce brothers go out together.
No, I think Jason stays one more year. I think Travis is done. He's locking it up. He's settling down. He's
Whoa. So the guy everyone said was going to retire when he was like crying and like went over to his wife and all that, he's going to keep playing for the Eagles. And Travis Kelce, he's the one who's going to retire so he can become Mr. Taylor Swift.
Storybook ending.
Wow.
If the shoe fits, if the shoe fits, we roll with it.
See, this is where I can't hate on it, because if it happened, like, if I did a Freaky Friday trade lives with Travis Kelce, I'd be like, you know what? I get out with my head intact. I'm like as well known as I'm going to be in my entire career. I leave on a zenith. If you win another Super Bowl, it's a dynasty. You could argue greatest tight end of all time. I don't know. Personally, I think Gronk was the better blocker. Kelsey's the best pass catcher, whatever. But kind of an interesting storyline, Jay Frosty. I like the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
That's how he rolls. Well,
Kansas City all day. Let's go with Detroit on the upset. Kansas City and Detroit. That's what I'm going.
Okay, so you're taking one pick that the sports books love. Sports books really want the Chiefs today, and the sports books hate the Lions, like because the public loves the Lions. So you got a good split there.
We'll see what happens. Good luck to you and your bets.
Good luck to you, man. And anytime you want to come on to talk sports conspiracy theories, you have a home here, Jay Frosty.
You got it, brother. Talk to you next week.
Later. Love it, love it, love it. If you guys want to join the show as a guest and just, I don't know, give your random sports take, give some sports conspiracy theories, especially around Taylor Swift's travel schedule in the Super Bowl, I'm more than happy to have you guys come on. So hit us up here at Butt Fumble Sports. Z Boogie, Gibbs, we talked about it a moment ago. I do like a Gibbs touchdown. Yep. Why Lamar over Gus Bus? Frankly, I just think it's about how they've been utilizing Lamar in the red zone of late. I think they're getting back to some of the older offense that they had because they recognize that it's so hard when it's an 11-on-11 and you're not just burning that quarterback rather as a pure handoff man. So I think Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown just has a lot of opportunities to it, in part because we just saw the Kansas City Chiefs struggle at times against Josh Allen. Josh Allen was able to escape the pocket, make those moves, have that long touchdown run. You don't think that the Ravens saw that? Now, obviously, the Chiefs are going to try to address that, but that doesn't mean they'll be successful with it. Same issues they had last week could easily be a factor this week. So I really like Lamar Jackson finding the end zone. Ramal, Swift versus Eminem. Either way, I lose white people in my audience, so I'm not going to take a pick on that. Austin, you think it's Ravens win and Chiefs only lose by less than 5? That's exactly right, Austin. I took Ravens on the money line, and I took Chiefs plus 4.5. I just couldn't go in two directions. I couldn't say Chiefs win outright. I think this Ravens team is too good all around. And on the other side, I can't see Patrick Mahomes losing by 7 points. I can't see him losing. I could see him losing by 6. I could see them pushing it out, but really, he's going to lose by 7? Man, once I started kind of negotiating it down. Now, I have some parlays where I do have like teasers, Chiefs plus 10.5, and folded that into some other action. But Chiefs plus 4.5, I love that spot. I'm on the better side of the push, too. I'm not at 4. There's a lot about it that's attractive to me. What's your pick lock of the day? My pick lock of the day. Well, one thing you guys know here at Butt Fumble Sports is I'll never say I have a lock of the day. I think that's just an awful way to think about sports betting. We look at trends, data, analytics, and we're just trying to find the thing that is most likely to happen based on all the factors and variables that we care about. Home road splits, weather, referees, or umpires, or all that jazz. Obviously, the opponent's quality of defense against certain positions or in certain situations. So we're never going to say anything is a lock. Because the moment you say that, you say the Patriots, who are the best team supposedly in the history of football, they lose to a Giants team that barely made the playoffs. It's just not how sports betting works. Now, that said, if I do have a favorite pick of the day, a pick that I have my highest confidence level in, it comes from basketball. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder on the money line. I'll put that up as my SHARPZ play of the day, everybody. I love the Thunder on the money line today. I absolutely added that to some of my NFL picks. It's just a way of sprinkling it down to get a minus number a little bit closer to even or to plus money. But Thunder on the money line is my favorite bet of the day. It's not close. The Pistons had a back-to-back. They lost against the Wizards yesterday. They've obviously been a terrible team, terrible at home. This is a good Thunder team. Yeah, it's a little bit earlier in the day. I'm not too concerned about it. Thunder, money line, really like that bet. That would be my highest level confidence play. There was no long TD run against the Chiefs from Josh. My mistake. It wasn't a touchdown run. Forgive me. It was two different plays I'm thinking of. He had a touchdown run and he had a long run. Forgive me. It wasn't a touchdown. That's my bad. Will either Reynolds get in the end zone? It's actually a great call. I think receiver Josh Reynolds has a better opportunity of getting in. Simeon Mills, I like the under with a Lamar TD. I like that's something that I really like based again on the trends, data, and analytics. I like these two defenses. I like Lamar Jackson getting the touchdown. I think it's a good play, Simeon. Andy, I had bad anxiety, and last week I watched CVB, but I was okay because I didn't expect them to win. Probably the best you can the best way to treat watching sports if you're a fan of your team is to almost emotionally hedge. Juan Gabriel, Kelsey, or Pacheco anytime touchdown. Oof. I'm going to say Pacheco is a better play just slightly. I think it's very close. But one of the reasons I don't like Kelsey as much is they're going to pair Kyle Hamilton up against Kelsey. That's a really tough matchup. Now, I think both probably do get a touchdown. I think they both could be worth it. But if you're asking me which one would I rather go with, I think I'd rather go with Pacheco just barely. Jorge, I don't like Gibbs as much on a pure rushing yards play. If you're going to go with Gibbs today, might want to look at rushing plus receiving yards. El Pinche really likes a Deebo Samuel over on touchdown. I like that one as well. Deebo Samuel over half a touchdown. I think that's a very good play today as well. Better play, Pacheco touchdown or yards? I would say touchdown, because I think when they get in the red zone, I think the opportunities for them to just give the rock to him are pretty high. Better probability on that. Yardage, I think it's tricky. I think the Ravens have cued all week saying what everyone expects the opposite to be. We're going to take away the run, and Patrick Mahomes has to beat us. And I actually think they mean that. If Pacheco can't run effectively, Patrick Mahomes is way more susceptible to sacks, interceptions, and overall mistakes. We've seen the receivers as well. You can get some big hits on these guys. I think that the Ravens are going to be more physical. They're going to be aggressive at the line of scrimmage. They're going to I think they're going to play similar to how the Chiefs have played defense. We're going to press up against the line, and we're going to out-physical you at the front. And then if you want to try to beat us over the top, you better have a lot of speed because we're going to hit you all along the way. I don't know. I just feel like Pacheco's not a great play. Rich Matthews, hey, mate, how you doing? Kelsey, anytime touchdown. Andrews, anytime touchdown. Montgomery. The only one I'm not crazy about is Montgomery. I'm not as high on that one. Simeon Mills is Ravens minus 3.5, a bad play. Look, a lot of experts on TV are saying go minus 3.5. The public is going with minus 3.5 for the Ravens. One of the reasons I'm going with the Chiefs plus 4.5 is one, the history that Patrick Mahomes has as an underdog, phenomenal covering the spread. But also, for this kind of a situation, I'd rather be on the side of Vegas. I'd rather be on the side of the sports books rather than the side of the public. This is a perfect example of, I think the public is getting gassed up on the Ravens and they're disrespecting the Chiefs just a little bit. So I'd rather be on the Chiefs plus 4.5. By the way, that has less to do with trends overall between these two teams, and it has more to do with how you try to play the sports books and play the sports betting money line opportunities or line movement opportunities rather. Appreciate you guys supporting the show. If you guys have questions, comments, if you have takes, if you have picks of your own you want to share, hit us up. You can join as a guest. You can obviously write your comments in the comment section. Love it. Jorge, Purdy, 275.5. I like it at the over 249.5. That's where I would take it. 275.5 seems a little bit high. Can you under still hit of the Chiefs win or better taking Well, I'm confused about can under still hit if okay, gotcha. Can the under still hit if the Chiefs win? I think the under could be a good play either way. I think these two defenses are two of the top 5 defenses in the league. And I don't think the offensive star power on either side is so great to overcome that. I would expect a lower scoring game rather than a higher scoring game. Urban Ninja, should I bet my mortgage payment on the Lions spread? Yikes. I would not. I'm not going to tell you should bet anything that uncomfortable amount on anything, but what I would say is I don't want to be on the side of the public too much. The public is so heavy on the Lions right now. It's actually one area of these games I'm not betting. Lions and 49ers spread, I just don't want to touch right now. There's just a little bit too much juice on it. The public is so heavy on the Lions. Makes me feel, one, like the 49ers have a good chance of covering anyways. It's not too crazy for them to cover for a 2-touchdown game, or two-score game rather. And I don't like where it's set at the 7.5. I'm avoiding it. If I were to go anywhere on that spread, I'd probably buy it down in favor of the 49ers. Right now it feels like 49ers minus 5.5. I can get that at minus 165. That feels about right, but that's not attractive enough, so I'm just dodging it. Sean, Kittle over 61 receiving yards. Very interesting. Let's jump on over to our research tool Outlier to see where we like George Kittle on receiving yards. If any of you guys want to join the show as a guest, hit us up. Love hearing your takes. Love hearing you guys rant. Or if you guys have a question, feel free to hit us up. We can give you some answers. Wow, Outlier expanded some of their options and some of their stats. Ooh la la. Look at you, Outlier, getting even better. So, 58.5 receiving yards is where it's set at. Should be a very attractive play. Lions have been bad against the tight end position. He's been scorching hot. By the way, at home, this has been a phenomenal play. Yeah, George Kittle, take this right now. George Kittle over is a really strong play. This opened at 56.5. It's moved up to 59.5. This is a good call, Sean. Good find. Sean, George Kittle has hit this in 9 of his last 10 home games. 6 straight, really strong. Love this. Love this. Great find. I got to put this one up on my big board. Good find. George Kittle. I'll take the over 59.5 receiving yards. Good call. This is why you guys are on here too. We're swapping picks. Hey, what's happening in Argentina? Hope you're having a great day. Buenos dias. Andres, Gibbs anytime touchdown. I like it. I'm not betting it. I would say it has a good probability of occurring, but I don't like it enough myself to actually bet it. So that gives you some indication of how I feel. My parlay is Gibbs, Williams, McCaffrey, Justice Hill over receiving yards. Do I win? IDK. Man. Feels a little ambitious. Do I like Jalen Williams today? We're getting an NBA question mixed in here. Let's go take a look at Jalen Williams really quick. Played him the other night. Disappointed me. Didn't get the point total that I was hoping for. But that's okay. You're just asking if I like him overall across the board? The answer is yes. I like him. But not as much as wow. I like him on points, but I don't like him on assists and rebounds. So the answer is Jalen Williams when it comes to points is a decent play, but overall, no. Bros before hoes. I picked the Chiefs money line. Brock Purdy to throw an interception parlay. Very interesting. I actually think that's a really good bet just from the odds you'd get on it. Do I think it's going to cash? No, because I've got the Ravens money line, so I can't be a hypocrite and be like, oh, I'm giving out my pick, but I validate the other side. But that said, bros before hoes, you're getting a really good price on that, so I like how you approached it. If you guys are looking for ways to utilize your fantasy football or fantasy basketball knowledge and put it to good use make some money, go to Rival Fantasy. Rival Fantasy has their challenges. Easy way for you guys to take the knowledge and research that you're doing and put it to good use. Who do you think is going to get more points today? Fantasy points. Amon-Ra St. Brown or Travis Kelce? I think Amon-Ra St. Brown. But that's okay. Well, I'm going to skip that one. Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff. Who do you think gets more fantasy points? I'm actually willing to take a chance on Jared Goff. Do I love it? No. But for a buck? Okay. Patrick Mahomes, Jahmyr Gibbs? No, a bit of an awkward one. So you can obviously go through all the different kinds of picks that you like. Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy? I'm going to take Brock Purdy. I'll put $5 on Purdy. Let's go, underdog, Mr. Irrelevant. So if you guys are looking for a fun way to be able to utilize the fantasy knowledge that you use all year long, but now the season's come to an end and you still want to play fantasy or at least kind of bet along with it, try Rival Fantasy. DM me on Instagram if you want to give it a try. Butt Fumble Sports. That's Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Hit me up. By the way, if you guys want access to anything that I use, whether it's the fantasy websites I use, the research tools I use, where you can find my picks, just DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. I'm always available there for you guys to hit me up. Love hearing from you guys. Who do I have? Ravens or Chiefs? Okay, this is one more time. I'm going to go through the picks that I have up on the board if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Here are the picks I have so far today. In the NFL, I have Chiefs plus 4.5. Ravens on the money line. Chiefs, Ravens under 47. And the 49ers on the money line. We also just put up George Kittle over 59.5 receiving yards after looking at those trends. Really good. As for my Sharps play of the day, my favorite bet of the day, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet, Oklahoma City Thunder is my Sharps play of the day. I like the Thunder on the money line. Thunder to win today. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a very popular bet. Majomes, I gotta give credit where credit is due. You have been consistent. Majomes, one of our loyal viewers, he has been banging on the table all week long, saying that Aguilar is gonna score a touchdown. Aguilar is gonna score a touchdown. Majomes, I don't know if there's anything I want to happen more than Aguilar scoring a touchdown just to validate how many times you've hit me up over the last week to let me know that that's gonna happen. Love it, love it, love it. Getting a question from El Pinche. He wants to know how Vince Williams is going to do. Let's look at Vince Williams specifically on his point total. 14.5 is what it's set at. Very good matchup against the Indiana Pacers. This is a good find. I actually think it's not a terrible bet. The problem is it's really just come up strong lately. Let's go without... Since John Morant went out, he's played much better. Away games, it's a decent find. I don't love it at the 14.5. I'd move it down slightly, but I think it's a really good find. In fact, given that it is even odds, El Pinche, I'd probably endorse it if you're looking for a good plus money play. Will Ayuk sell today as usual? I think Ayuk's going to play well today. Home game against a bad secondary. I think Brandon Ayuk is in for a good game. Do you like the Lions 49ers under? If I had to go in one direction in that game, I'd probably lean towards the over. I could see both offenses doing well through the air. The biggest question to me is, do the 49ers get a defensive touchdown? I would not be surprised if they turn over Jared Goff and turn it into 6. That was kind of a side bet that I was thinking about putting down. But I lean towards the under in the AFC Championship game, and I'm leaning towards the over in the... I'm leaning towards the under, the under in the AFC Championship game and the over in the NFC Championship game. That's kind of where I'm coming out. Derek. I think Kittle anytime touchdown's a decent play. We talked about his over on receiving yards is very strong. Jorge is asking about Brandon Ayuk. Let's take a look at Brandon Ayuk really quick and get a sense of his yards and his touchdown opportunities here. We're going to start with touchdowns on this one. For the Lions against wide receivers are 30th in the league in touchdowns allowed. I think Ayuk, by the way, he was cooking earlier in the year. Interestingly enough, he only has one touchdown at home this year, so would be a bit of a kind of an outlier for him to score a touchdown today. I mentioned it earlier. Deebo Samuel anytime touchdown is probably the one I like the most out of Kittle, Ayuk, and Deebo. Deebo Samuel, in fact, I'm going to put that one up on my board. Deebo Samuel over half and anytime touchdown. I think that happens. Ayuk, I don't feel as good about. I like it. I don't love it. Let's go to receiving yards. That's a better play. Specifically at home, it's been a really strong play. We've looked at it earlier this week, so I'm aware of it. It missed the last two games against the Packers and against the Rams, but that's not really, those both games were kind of awkward. Deebo Samuel didn't play in either one of those games for the entirety of it. But prior to that, Brandon Ayuk had been cooking at home. 4 straight games at home, he had gone over 100 yards. In fact, 5 of the 6 games, again, if I cut away that Packers game, if I cut away that Rams game, 5 out of the last 6, he'd gone over 100 yards. So personally, I really like taking Brandon Ayuk on the over. This has had really strange line movement to it. Personally, I probably would take it at over 69.5 rather than the over 77.5. But I usually buy things down. I like to just cash tickets. So that said, I like the over on Brandon Ayuk yards. I don't feel as strongly about him on touchdowns. I love Deebo Samuel on the anytime touchdown. I think I like Ayuk on the yardage more. But that is a good find right there. And again, Lions 30th defense when it comes to wide receiver receiving yards. So really bad in that area. Deebo Samuel first half anytime touchdown. Derek, that I'm not going to do. I'm not very good at the first half versus second half. I feel like that is really gambling. I don't like to gamble. I look at trends and see what is most likely to happen, where I feel like gambling is really like true randomness. So I'm not as big on that. Between the stalls, how I've been thinking about the Andrews likely question is I think Andrews is more, I was about to say more likely than likely to get a touchdown. I think Andrews is the better anytime touchdown play. I think Isaiah Likely is the better over on yardage play. Haley, I'm not big on Montgomery anytime touchdown. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a better play there, but I'm not crazy about it either way. I think that Jared Goff could still get passing touchdowns. I think David Montgomery rushing touchdown isn't big. Jorge, I know Deebo's banged up, but I'm not as worried about it. Sounds like not only is he healthy enough to play, but he is motivated. Now that I've heard what the, Gardner Johnson, Deebo Samuel back and forth was, Deebo Samuel is one of those dudes who, like, when he's motivated, when he's pissed off, like, look out. I want Deebo Samuel in a fight. So I think Deebo Samuel not just plays, I think he gets his touchdown so he can talk his shit after the game. Sean, what do you think of OBJ over 20.5 receiving yards? I like it. I took it. I know some people saw it earlier in the week. You could get an alternative line at over 12.5 or over 14.5. I took that as well. But I think OBJ, I'm going to show you, I'm going to show the people who are watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. I'll talk about it with you. I really like OBJ at home on receiving yards. It's been one of those plays that's just been surprisingly consistent. Now, it let us down last week. So, funny enough how that happens. But prior to that, it had cashed in every home game this season. Last week was literally the first home game of the year. He didn't go over 33 yards. So, I tend to think he's going to go over this. I understand Mark Andrews being back is a negative. I understand the Chiefs being the 4th best pass defense against wide receivers is a negative against this. But this line came down from 23 to 20.5. I like it. I would take it. Again, you can get it at over 13.5 at -119. That's the far better play. Like, that's a great play. Oh, that's only on Prize Picks. Okay, forget that, because if it's only on Prize Picks, it means like a third of you don't even know what that is, and a tenth of you actually play it. So anyways, over 20.5. It's just, again, this is where I am a slave in some ways to stats. There are people who you might watch on TikTok or elsewhere who they're all about X's and O's matchups. I go towards analytics. I go towards stats. This has been a great trend. It's a bad matchup today. It's a really good trend. I'm going to go with the trend. I wish they were going in the same direction, but what's the best sports betting website for Nevada? I don't know. When I go to Nevada, I usually just bet at a casino. I haven't spent much time in Nevada betting on sports books on my phone, so I don't know. Jorge, Purdy over 1.5 passing touchdown. Yes, I like that one. Mahomes pass touchdown, solid 2-man. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes over 2, probably. I feel like they can get to 21 points. Man, it's close. I really don't want to bet on Patrick Mahomes today, to be honest. A lot of people are saying save us Lamar Jackson today. They don't want Patrick Mahomes to win, whether it's because you're a former Patriot, you're a Patriots fan and you don't want the Chiefs to be the next dynasty. Whether it's because you're kind of tired of the Chiefs, they've been winning over the last few years. Whether it's because you don't like Taylor Swift. Whether it's because you don't like Mrs. Patrick Mahomes and all her nonsense, or his younger brother who's a total douche. Maybe for some reason you don't like Travis Kelce. Maybe for even a more bizarre reason you don't like Andy Reid. For whatever the reason, a lot of people are saying, save us Lamar Jackson, and I freaking love that. I saw a meme, I posted it on Instagram, classic example of the old Batman reference. You know, you live long enough to see yourself go from hero to villain. I know I said it wrong, but whatever, you get the gist of it, and I just love it. There was a time Tom Brady was the underdog against the superstar St. Louis Rams with Kurt Warner. And then Tom Brady made that arc. And you had Peyton Manning, who went from the he's the number one pick to he can't win in the big game to, oh, he did it. He might. I love character arcs. I love personal arcs. And Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are in an arc all into themselves. They went from man, the Chiefs never break through. They haven't won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl III. And yeah, they finally did it to, hey, maybe they could be the next great team. Oh, that's fun. They're a video game offense. To now, people are hating on them. People are rooting against them. People want to see the downfall of the Kansas City Chiefs. I love it. I love it. I love it. Whether Lamar Jackson can come through or not, that's a separate story. And that actually is a good separate story. I would love to see Lamar Jackson succeed today. I would love to see it because Lamar Jackson people have talked about this on ESPN, so I wouldn't be new to it. It's like Allen Iverson winning an NBA championship. It rebrands what winning is in ways that this country usually doesn't go for, usually doesn't permit naturally. There has to be someone who just breaks the mold. Lamar Jackson, go ball out today. I so want to see it. So want to see it. Simeon, I love the take. Oh, one or the other? I'd probably take Lamar as a better play. Jorge, Lamar passing yards. I got you. Jorge, any NBA player props? Actually, no. I really didn't do my research last night. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of just excited about this football game. There isn't a lot of basketball going on. I might do some in the next hour or so. I'm going to be on for another 10, 15 minutes of the show. And then I'll probably go do some research and throw in some player prop bets. But to be honest, I just wanted to bet NFL, just soak it all in, enjoy every single second of this championship Sunday, no matter where you're watching, no matter what you're doing. I am so excited for you to be able to watch these two football games today. I don't know what the script is. I don't believe in scripts. I just know we're going to see two great games, 4 good football teams, and I hope you guys enjoy it no matter where you're going to be for it. Flowers over on yards. Let's take a look at that one. Zay Flowers and receiving yards doesn't feel like a great play. The over does have the better implied probability, interestingly enough. Let's take a look at this in home games. It's been a decent trend throughout the season. Not as good in the back half of it, though. Man, when this is missed, it's just missed over that 44.5. If you could get this at 39.5, I'd like it. American 1959, if you take Zay Flowers over 39.5 receiving yards, that's a bet I like. I don't like it right now at the 44.5. I really like it at the 39.5. That's cashed in 8 of the 9 home games that he's played in so far this year. So I do like Zay Flowers over 39.5 receiving yards. That's a good play. Really quick, I just want to look at receptions for that. Zay Flowers on receptions opened at 3.5, moved up to 4.5. That's a terrible spot. That's a bad play right there. I don't like the over 4.5, even at the plus money. I don't think that cashes, so no. Interesting that moved up. Clearly, a lot of people were throwing some money on that. The sports books didn't want to get taken. Black Intelligent Gentleman, Moneyline, Lions, and Ravens. BIG, I agree with the Ravens, but I'm on the 49ers today. I'm on the 49ers. El Pinche, Trey Young under... I haven't looked at it. Let's take a quick look at how Trey Young may do today. We're going to look at points, rebounds, and assists. Again, if you guys want a free 7-day trial for the sports betting research tool that I use every single day called Outlier, make sure you DM me on Instagram. I can hook you up with a free 7-day trial, a link, so you guys can give it a try. If you think it's worth it, you can subscribe. If not, no big deal. But free 7 days to get access to like as much research as you could possibly want. It's definitely worth it. Okay, Trey Young. Let's see the matchup. Oh, terrible matchup. I don't like the points at all. Rebounds, assists I like. I could see him going over his assist total today, but I don't like the points total. In fact, let's see what assists are for Trey Young. It's set at 10.5. That's a little bit high for me. I could see him getting a double-double. I could see him getting to 9.5, but I don't like it today. I probably avoid Trey Young overall, funny enough. Bros Before Hoes knows it. He's got the app. I'm telling you, it is absolutely worth it. I used it even before they became a sponsor of the show. Tommy, ain't no party like a West Coast party because a West Coast party don't stop. Damn straight, Tommy. That said, an East Coast party... It knows that, like, it's funny you say that because, like, a West Coast party, like, it totally does stop. Like, West Coast people, like, go to sleep kind of early. Like, I lived in LA and I've lived in New York, and I'll tell you, a New York party goes a lot later than a West Coast party does. Jorge, I like that play. Fit Dre is asking about Scotty Barnes on 3. A bunch of you guys talking about NBA today. Curious to know what you guys like for the NFL games. Let's go to Scotty Barnes. Let's take a look at him on 3-pointers. 1.5. Oh, this is a good play. Great find. Yep, understand it now. Interestingly enough, Atlanta really bad in giving up 3-pointers, but actually to power forwards more than anything else. So to small forwards, not as much. That's actually a position they guard it pretty well. But point guards and small forwards, I'd be interested to know what Emmanuel Quickly, or is he still out? And wow, Bogdanovich over 1.5 is a really good bet, actually. Wow, Bogdanovich, this is what we call a lawn, everybody. 10 straight games he's gone over this. Now, I cashed on Bogdanovich total points last night, but over 1.5 3-pointers for Bojan Bogdanovich, that is a great trend right now. Let's see, over the last 20 games, wow, this is cashed in 19 of the last 20 games. Whoa, 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 whoa. And right now it's going off at just minus 119. I don't know. That looks like a really good bet, everybody. Bojan Bogdanovic over 1.5 3-pointers. It has cashed in 19 of the last 20 games. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So, anyways, we stumbled across a great bet. Jorge, Bojan, there you go. You're on top of it. Do I lift, bro? Not really, like free weights, but really, I started getting into a Pilates, so yeah, not really. Barnes threes, Nelson Aguilar receiving yards. I got you. Nelson Aguilar anytime touchdowns being a very popular bet. Elite Detail, you know what's up. New York City. Holler at your boy. By the way, I'm telling you I'm right. I've lived in both places. LA goes to sleep so early. It goes to sleep so early. I don't know why. Like, the bars aren't open that late. Like, yeah, sure, you can find some clubs that, but it actually doesn't stay open that late. New York stays open late. New York will stay open until 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 9 in the morning. Like, LA? No, LA, it'll be like, you know, it's like 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and it's like, all right, we're kind of wrapping up here. Like, LA does not party literally until the next day in the same way. Tyler, really? You might be my longest subscriber? Clearly makes you the coolest person. You think Brian Callahan is a good hire for the Titans? I think it's a fine hire. I understand why they did it, to try to nurture and build around Will Levis. Overall, I just hated the firing of Mike Vrabel. I didn't understand that. I understood that Mike Vrabel had reason to be pissed at the organization. Thanks, Majomes. In large part because why would you ever trade A.J. Brown? Like, that was the dumbest thing the Titans did. Trading A.J. Brown derailed that organization in ways you don't usually see. I think some people thought that when Tyreek Hill left the Chiefs, that would derail them. Wrong. A.J. Brown getting traded from the Titans to the Eagles changed the Tennessee Titans franchise for a couple of years. With that said, I think Vrabel was a phenomenal coach. It was a mistake to let him go. I think Brian Cam, I get going with an offensive mind. Like, I get that. It makes sense. If you're going to go in a new direction, go with a new coach. You should go offense with a rookie or what will be a second-year quarterback. But overall, I just feel like you lost culture. And do I think the team was still responding to Mike Vrabel? Yeah, I didn't think 1 year removed from a coach of the year did not make him that bad. But I think ownership and I think leadership was ready to move on from Mike Vrabel, which was interesting. Did you look at props for Likely? We haven't yet. Let's take a look at Isaiah Likely. We're going to look at some player prop bets for him. And specifically, thanks so much, Majomes. Specifically, we're going to look at receiving yards. Receiving yards. Over 21.5. I like the over. I really like the over. Thanks, Majomes. Appreciate you. The over has cashed in 7 straight games for this. He's gone to at least 30 yards in 8 of his last 10 games, dating back to last year. I feel really good about this. I think Isaiah Likely gets to 25 receiving yards. I would take Isaiah Likely on the over. I understand Mark Andrews is back, but I think Likely is going to be the option between the 20s. I think Mark Andrews is the option in the red zone. Q. We do think Ayuk has a very big receiving yards game. Big receiving yards game. Yep, we like it. Stumpy Rules. I think you're kind of right. I think people are... It's not that we're overblowing the addition of Andrews. I think people are minimizing how the development of Isaiah Likely. Like, Isaiah Likely really grew into a star of his own making. I think he's someone to keep your eye on because they're going to build their offense around those 2 tight ends. I think they offer 2 different skills while at the same time being good seam players. I think Andrews has a little bit more size. Likely has a little bit more speed. But overall, I just like the tandem of the 2. Kelsey and Rice, both 50-plus yards. Mr. Tal, I tend to say yes. I like the Rice part more, though. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are hitting that follow button. Hope you're subscribing. Butt Fumble Sports is going to be live almost every single day of 2024. We are live Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Again, tomorrow, Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. And on the weekends, we're live at 12 p.m. Eastern outside the football season. In football season, we're live earlier than that. Outside the football season, 12 p.m. Eastern. Jordan, my apologies, I missed it. But what were you saying about that tight end duo for Baltimore? What I was saying is, one, I think the two of them are going to be very effective, not just in this game, but in seasons to come for the Ravens. Just build around that offense. But Mark Andrews, I think, is going to be really good in the red zone. He's the bigger tight end. He's the, I'm going to post up like basketball style. I think he's the better red zone option for today. Between the 20s, I like Isaiah Likely. I think he's the one that could get more receiving yards. I think Mark Andrews is the one who could get the touchdown. Q. No basketball player prop bets today. I know I've been scorching hot on those, so I know you're disappointed. But I'll put those out on Instagram probably. I just didn't do my research prior to the show on those. I was a little lazy last night. So that said, I was kind of focused on football. I say lazy, it's like I spent my time on football. But that said, I will be doing some research on NBA player prop bets probably over the next hour, and I'll put those out on Instagram. So by the way, make sure you hit me up on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit me up if you want access to my picks, if you want access to the research tool I use, if you just want to hit me up with your sports takes or your bets or anything else, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram is the best way to contact us. Now that we're outside of fantasy football season, it also makes it easier for me to respond to messages on Instagram. So hit me up. If you're a loyal viewer, love hearing from you. If you just have a question one time, love it. Jake Goodman, Pacheco, yards or attempts? I'd be more likely to take him on attempts than yards. Should I start Debo? I'm not crazy about either, Jake, to be honest. Ryan, should I start Debo or Rice? I would start Rice purely because Debo's injury, though I think Debo does get the touchdown. Jorge, Goff on the interception? I think so, yeah. What about rushing for the 49ers game? What do you mean for the... I don't love the rushing attack for either side. These are two good run defenses. To be honest, there isn't a running back I love today. If I had to go with anybody, it would probably be either Jahmyr Gibbs or Christian McCaffrey, just because their split nature, their ability to both run and pass catch, and how effective they could be. But there's no running back I love today. This is a statement about how you should build your football teams, everybody. 4 good run defenses are playing today. 4 good run defenses are playing today. That tells you a lot right there. If you want to build a championship football team, to be able to stop the run. Like, that actually matters. Make your opponent one-dimensional. Jorge, Lamar, I don't know about that one. I tend to say he goes over, actually. Guys, we have hit 1 o'clock. I am going to sign off right now, and that way I can go do some research on those NBA player prop bets. Make sure you guys, one more time actually, I'm going to go through all of the picks I gave out during the show. One more time, so listen up everybody. Here are the picks I gave out during the show. Chiefs, plus 4.5, but Ravens on the money line. Chiefs and Ravens, under 47 points. 49ers on the money line. George Kittle, over 59.5 receiving yards. Deebo Samuel, anytime touchdown. And my SHARPZ, play of the day. My favorite bet of the day, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet, is the Thunder on the money line, everybody. Make sure that you guys hit me up. Make sure you guys hit me up on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Love hearing from you guys. Make sure that you guys are obviously following my picks on the SHARPZ app. If you don't know what I'm talking about, again, DM me on Instagram. And everybody, enjoy this day of football. We don't get it again until September, single tier. So make sure you have a great NFL Sunday. Go cash some tickets, because Butt Fumble Sports is team cashing tickets, Jorge. And I can't wait to talk to you guys again at 5 p.m. tomorrow, everybody. 5 p.m. Monday. Until then, enjoy your NFL Sunday. Goodbye, everybody.